men. Macro long line. Please. Carambola. And Cybert, and Sackman, and Ember, and Adrian, and Bloodman. Is true. It is indeed. In fact, I think there might even be a boat named that. Oh, me loud that. Fuck off. We are way up north. Aww. Green. We have. Better is relative though, considering how this thing performs. We fished yesterday. It is actually, yes. It has a few bugs and irritating things, but it's pretty nice. And one of the bugs I reported yesterday, and I spoke to the dev this morning, and they seem to actually have fixed 2 of them. The patch is not out yet, so that's really nice. No crab, but that's what we're going to be doing tonight. I just want a little bit of buffer of money, and I want to get these 2 lines in. Then we crab. I may have been a bit Nando's and put the Covey music from Darkest Dungeon on. Our horn is proper terrorizing though. Well, Barent Sea is north of Norway, so we're Norwegian. I shat myself when the game started because the main character his name defaulted to my last name. Now we are, however, called, what's our name again? Fnilsk Johan Krabbe. I norsk da, nudes. In fact, I might just No, this is Darkest Dungeon. The music that comes with the game is actually pretty good. I'll put it on in a second. In fact, right now. Yes. Let me give it a look in a second, Blue Man. This is our map. We are near something called Hammerfest, which is a real Norwegian town. If Svalbard is anywhere near here, then yes. The chat is what? I don't know what you mean, Nodes. So far north, I guess. Actually, there's an interesting fact about this. I did a little bit of reading yesterday. There's a few things we can do. If we sell, like this is the centrum, the center of town of the thing. If we go here between 6, I think, in the morning, and at 6 in the afternoon, we actually sell our fisk for better because we're selling it directly on the fisk market for the civilians. But it only opens in certain times, and we skip time because we sit and sell. So this is actually better money. Also, we are in 2017 here. What they did is they took 10 years worth of meteorological data from Norway and they put all of that into the game. So right now we are experiencing what the weather was like on August 28th of 2007, not 17, 7. So the next 10 years in this game will be the weather from 2007 to 2017, IRL, which is interesting and a cool little thing. The reason, of course, that they could have set the game slightly further back, but I think keeping it in modern time is fine, and just skipping everything 10 years is kind of neat. Of course, it misses out on gameplay things by having harsher weather at certain times when it's seasons for various things, but that's fine. Also, supposedly this is one of the hardest controlled boats there are in the game. It's weird though, because as soon as I reported a bug on this, the dev was there immediately, but the forums is full of dev please fix game. So I don't know what the fuck, what's going on. Sorry, I haven't been paying that close attention, but yeah, I don't know if they're ignoring those posts or what's going on. We'll see, Rambola. Okay, so we got this now, so I haul the gear. Okay, so what we're gonna... Actually... Let me try this, because... Oh, we drifting? Not really. Okay, so... they probably didn't fix it yet, but he said he identified it. I reported two things. I reported the thing that was happening with the cutting board, where the camera was wobbling down here. They were having a little bit hard time identifying what was going wrong with that, but he said he fixed the thing where this hand stays over the screen if I access this from this place, which is nice. Of course, damn it, I don't think we should drift back in. I don't think there hasn't been a patch yet, so that doesn't really matter, but he said he identified that one, so that's neat. It's all, man. I don't know what the game does, Cyber. I suspect it just loops around. But this one he had trouble finding. What I think happened, I'm not going to start this yet, is when we were doing the hooking here and I accidentally activated the binoculars, as well as missed the fisk, the camera automatically pans down to follow the fisk that falls off the line, and it sort of got stuck down there. I think part of that animation got cached or stuck in some weird state. This continued as it would, but as soon as I entered this thing, it tried to follow that animation and got stuck down there. Of course, knowing nothing about game engine or anything like that, that might be a load of hooey, but it's something to go by. 2010's alright. Okay, this might float back in. I can do all of this from the menu, but I prefer doing it here. Come on, come on, come on. So this is a long line we have out here. That is a, I think it's a, yeah, that's a 1,000 hook long line, baited with mackerel. That's a 500 hook long line. I figure 1,000 and a 500 hook long line at blue capacity will just fill our hole right now. Men have talked about the crewmen. I don't know. It should be better on bigger boats, I think. Bigger ships. We'll think about it. I want to try all the manual stuff because I actually really like hooking and gutting the fish. It's a stupid little mini game, but I enjoy it. So I'm not gonna hire any crew for that stuff just yet. So what I do here is I have 15 fish on the hook. I have to hook them when that thing is smallest to get. I think this is extra size I hook them for. Draw the line, cut the fish. I also suggested the thing about spoilage and gutting to add a little bit more to the gameplay. The suggestion forum is swamped with make GameStop suck, so I would fully expect them to ignore the entire thing. Hey Lumpy, finest guest in stream. There ever was. But yeah, I was actually quite surprised by this. I've been looking at it and it looked kind of fun, and I fully expected German simulator shovelware, like you see demolition simulator, forklift simulator, farming sim, all of those things they just fart out every goddamn year, especially the ones like farming sim and truck sim and stuff like that. It specifically, it hinges a lot on the people that play them's love for licensed shit, like oh, this is a MAN tractor, oh boy, a John Deere, shit like that, which I give absolutely no fucks about, and they tend to skimp out on detail quite a lot. Oh, Flas, well, you allow Kitty to watch, so hey, worst. Indeed. Yeah. See, we should be able to do the 500 as well. I'm gonna go get that before I start gutting. Yeah, so I was quite surprised at how much detail this game actually has. There are quite a few bugs and quite a few things that make very little sense gameplay-wise, but in general, it has a lot of unnecessary detail. A lot of the other sim games just... When I say unnecessary, I don't mean that as a like a shit thing. I mean it as they didn't have to add this to make the game work, but having it there is so much better for the experience. A lot of these sim games are just fucking shoveled out there. They just need to get them out, so any corner that can be cut is cut. Anything that's unnecessary is not there, which makes a lot of this quite nice to have, because they didn't have to, but they did. That's alright. There are a few silly things, like the thing I talked about before. Like we have our cargo here, right? And we have fish, and we have fish that aren't gutted, and we have fish that are gutted. We haven't gutted anything yet. We have our quota here. So these fish, yeah, these fish we've had for this many minutes, and they begin to rot after 8 days. Then again, I have not done research on fisking in this manner, but usually the way it works is if you don't gut them almost right away, like within an hour of a fish dying, its stomach lining will burst, and like all the crap in there will contaminate the meat. We might get Northern Lights actually, yeah. You'd have to keep an eye on the calendar though, because since this is like proper weather data, we might accidentally skip past some Northern Lights. So if any of you have any sort of thing that will tell you which dates will have Northern Lights, I can make sure that we will not be pinned during the night. and skip him. What was I... Oh. What was I getting at? Yeah, but this one has 15 as well. That's really weird. It's half the size of the line of the other one. It might be that 15 is just the max, no matter how many, and it's like just to scale. So 1,000 line one, I'll still get 15 max, but each fish, like the way you gut and the way you catch this, each fish you catch and gut equals maybe 100 fish or something like that. That's probably not the scaling, but sort of, so you didn't have to do this with, what, 15 tons of fish. Oh? There are sadly only 6 things you can catch, I think, or 5. So fishing near a reef might not work. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's quite a while. Oh fuck. Some of these I get okay, and I still get a massive percentage. I wonder if that's just because the fish is really, really large. These don't move at the same rate, by the way. Yeah, so this is what we got of these. I got 1 redfish, but we actually got, that counted as 20, and the 1 cod counted as 5. Okay, we are almost full. That's nice. So they talked about, this is actually, from what I read on the wiki, this is the fastest boat. The fastest boat of all of them. The very, very fastest. As a result, it's probably also why it's so hard to control. And sometimes they mention upgrading the engine. It's actually because when we're fully loaded with Fisk, we sail quite slowly. We are 15 tons heavier right now. That's alright. Like this, worst man. That's me. It's because the window doesn't continue to play the sound when I tab out, and I'm a little sniffly. I think it's gone a bit cold here, and I didn't get to turn up the heat when I slept, so I have a bit of a sniffle. So I don't want to sniffle into the microphone, and I need to. You'll see the audio cutting out, preceded by my mouse going out the screen over here on the right side, because that's where OBS is, and that's where I mute the microphone in my attempt to not cough or sniffle into the thing, if that's what you meant. Otherwise, I have to check it out. So this is a thing I suggested in the game, like, well-gutted fish sell for more, and you basically, literally just have to draw a line from the X to the X. When you are in, indeed, Techman. When you are in high seas, this actually sways. Right now I'm literally just drawing a line. And that's kind of a shame, because since the fish spoil at the same rate, there's no reason you would ever gut stuff out on the sea. Right now I'm in pretty calm seas, so I'm just doing it here. But what you could do, you could be out in high seas, getting big catch in, and you could just go into harbor, gut them there, then sell them, which is kind of sad, because they have a nice mechanic making this this mini game more difficult in high seas, which it should be. But they have no, there's no reward to that extra risk of doing it out there. And if the fish spoiled more easily, if not gutted, that would mean that being able to stay out there to get more fish, because your nets expire after a while and start losing fish and they rot if you leave them out there too long, so going back to town and back again might not be an option. You don't have the player weighing stuff, but I hear slight static stuttery in the music sometimes. Sometimes the music does that. I think it's I think it has to do with some of the audio channels. Every now and then there'll be a little crackling when many effects play at the same time or something like that. Or new effects start playing, like swishy water or honk or something like that. the music sometimes cuts out a little bit. It goes crazy. Also, I'm shaking very slightly here, as you can see. The camera is just slightly jittering. Also, are these my ears? Is this a shadow of my ears? That would be very silly. I'm hoping the little shake we have on the camera here is because it's cold and he's slightly cold. Ugh, I sniffled. And if we go out when it's colder, he'll actually be shaking more. And he doesn't actually have a bobble hat. We can see ourselves. Okay, we got a bunch of fish. Let's have a look. We can't actually see him on the deck now. He's sitting here. There he is. Might have been his ears. Then his hair wouldn't have cast a shadow. Okay, as you can see, after cutting the fisk, they weigh slightly less. So I actually have some gear with more mackerel baited. We can do another mackerel run and get even more money before we start doing crab. This might be smart because we still have quite the pollock quota. The crab quota is not that large. Playing as Wallace? Who? Oh, right, from Wallace and Gromit, or Gromite, as a guy in class once tried to call it. I guess? I can only change my name, sadly. Nah, fuck that. Okay, so I need to go this way. Oh, I left the door open like a pleb. This is the fun thing, because I can actually set the boat to sail and get out and walk around, and it'll still fuck around. I can also access all the things down here through here, like manage crew, call for rescue, radar, what's this, use horn. The horn is terrifying. It sounds like an angry, sad Wookiee. Okay, so that's our pollock here. Let's go to third person and turn on the sonar. I'm gonna drop the big line here. Plort. And for some reason it accelerates to 100%, then it goes down a bit. The wiki says, as well as the in-game wiki, there's two. There's an in-game wiki up here, and then there's the wiki, which basically just has the in-game wiki copied. Says you have to keep an even pace while doing this, but it doesn't seem to matter. Yeah, it's probably a Wookiee mating call. Fuck me! Okay, that's that one drop down. I have to place the other one at least 50 meters away, so let's go a bit over here. I wonder if female Wookiees shave their legs. That would look very weird. Wookiees have weird legs. It's like they don't have calf muscles and knees and like that stuff like that. It's like just a trunk. I think they actually have feet like elephants kind of as well. Not quite, but sort of in the same ass. How far away are you? I can't see. So this one is a 100. Yeah, this was 100 meters between these two, so we should be fine to plop this one out here. I think we might be early enough for the market. Could one of you... Maybe it's in this wiki. Nah. As time goes by, your boat will start to look older. Repaint. I didn't know we could repaint. I knew we could repaint the thing. 20 meters away. How'd you see that? Oh no, that's how many minutes it's been in the water. The way this works is, after 48 hours, these will disappear because they've just rotted and we lost the line. They're red right now. Then they'll turn orange. Then they'll turn green, then they'll turn blue. When they're blue, that's the best time to get them. That's after they've been there for 20 hours or so. then they'll turn green again, then they'll turn orange, then they'll turn red, then they'll disappear. So if we get them while they're red or orange or something like that, there'll be a lot less fisk. Which is why I put 2 of these down, so we can get those at the same time. This boat is rather quick, so we should be able to get back to town very quickly. The other one, the boat, was a lot slower. So we, oftentimes they would rot before we'd get to them. There's only one way to, there's technically 2 ways to skip time. In the harbor, you can sit and you can just skip time. On the sea, the only way of skipping time is either waiting IRL or fucking, what's it called? Or sailing around in circles like you've seen I've done sometimes, which is a bit silly because it's technically exactly the same except one costs you fuel. See, it took us just 3 hours to get from there to here. So when that's 17-ish, then we go. So right, so there's a Fisker market here. I'm just gonna check the wiki because wiki Barent. Because selling fisk is better between a certain amount of time in the towns, but I can never. I don't think there's any indication of that in game, so I'm gonna have a quick look. Oh, where did I find this? Where did I find this? The local set. Sadly, no. Amazingly, boats and shit are animated on the thing. Boats, not boats, cars and things, which once again is completely unnecessary for the devs to have added, because you never go on land, so the cars and shit is just, why would you ever add that? But once again, very, very fine. Hammerfest is the only place you can upgrade. Okay, so where's the market? Okay, between 6 and 18. So we're at 13, so we should be able to do better prices at local fisk market. Oh shit, go away. So I need to park my ass over here. I need to back in there, ideally. The music is very original. I don't know if there's new EVE Online, as well as a bit of Mass Effect. I think those are just dyslexic nudes, and they actually meant to be nodists. Well, I mean, winter bathing is kind of a thing up here, and I mean, if you're doing that already, caring about being naked is probably very secondary to that. I wish I could name my saves just named after the boat. Yeah, we have Winter Bather Society here in Oslo as well. There's a car over there. They drive around as well. I wonder how any of you have a picture of what this town looks like IRL, because I think it might actually be fairly decently modeled after the thing. Anyone confirm or deny? If you can be asked, that is. I could do it, but nah. It's basically just you dunk yourself in water, you swim around for a few minutes, and then you run directly into the sauna, neatly installed. Very, very close by. Conveniently installed. Frostbite is not it's not such a sudden thing when it comes to winter and water bathing and things like that. That sort of shit sneaks up on you. And as long as you keep moving around, you're okay. It's generally if you touch something that's suddenly very cold, or if you walk around out in cold shit for a long time. Okay, if I press dock now, the problem is now tow lines are going to be tossed between me and here, and they're going to drag me close. I don't think I can take damage from being dragged into the pier, while they are dragging me, but I need them to make sure my boat is pointed this way when I'm done. Market opens a sick closer thing. You can get up to 20% profit if you get to the market early enough. You're able to spend, and are able to spend 8 hours there. Okay, no then. Cancel. Okay, let's go over here and... Oh no! 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 Okay, maybe I'll ponk against and they'll flip me. Nice. Okay, that's good. We are going to wait until the morning here. Still on Steam? Weird. Oh yeah, I was talking to Ray Guns, that's why. Oh, I see Rumpy has messaged me here. No online? Oh, okay, so I tie them. I have the Steam noises and everything turned off though, so they don't show up if I record or anything. We can go have a look if you like. Actually, no, I can't leave the thing here. NP. Playing like Seduction. I wonder who made this music, actually. I want to say early kid, but probably not. Weather forecast. Is this fog? Would be nice to know what that meant. I think it's fog. Visibility, visibility, visibility. Really? Now I have to see. Yeah, that is. I remember playing Ports of Call and shit. That was nice. Actually, my introduction to the game Ports of Call, where you also had to dock and harvest like this, was I think my dad showed me how to play that, which is a big thing since he is not he's not the most computer man in the world. Here's the wiki for it. I used to go to work with my dad every now and then. Oh yeah, on that picture, on the thing, we are docked exactly where that ship is docked, in the middle of the frame. On the Hammerfest picture for the wiki. That's neat. Yeah. My dad worked on as a engine repair mate on ferry that went Germany. Thingy, Germany, Sweden, DK, and sometimes I'd go with him, and I'd hang around on the ship. And they had this one room that was basically just this tiny crew room that they could fuck around in. And all it had was one of those, I don't know what they're called. In DK we call them cow's eyes. It's the little round windows on the side of boats. It had that, and a little old computer that had two games, Silent Hunter, the very first one, and Ports of Call. And I sat there and played Ports of Call on a boat where you could look out at the sea through the window. That was nice. Porthole, I guess. Wasn't on the port side though. Actually, was it? No, it was starboard. Or was it? I get your meaning though. Simon, I will forget that again, because I have before. Okay, we're here at 6 now. So this should be better here now, I think. Since it's 6 finger. Maybe if we press go fishing, dock again, it'll say local fish market, yeah. I don't know if this is different than the other fish market in there. But I'm gonna go like this just to be sure. That is a lot of pollock money. God damn. Fuck, how long did I actually wait? Did my bullshit out there go off? I may have to go get it. Almost 400,000 for all that shit. Quickly check this. Ah, it's going off. I'm gonna lose those 2 lines. Shit. Oh, okay. Mankel. Good man, Tech Man. Okay, that was awful. We just lost 2 lines out there. I think that nets us, that is about 50,000 of our profit, but which is hardly anything, honestly. We could bait the lines and just go out and plop some more down. Actually, let's have a look at the Fisk prices here. Okay, so average price for cod. Seems like cod is the crab sells best, of course. Other than that, it's cod and pollock. Yeah, how good are they to get? Cod's almost impossible. Pollock's out where we were doing it. Yeah. Gotta go out and plop this shit down then again. Damn. Once again, forget what the pollock looks like. It is the lighter one of the 2 thingies. It's mackerel, isn't it? It's the green boy. Yeah, it's mackerel. Apparently you can actually catch mackerel and bait the lines with them. Little mackerel here. Is mackerel, is it actually listed on the things? I didn't see if mackerel was a thing we could catch, or if it's just something you catch. Am I forgetting things? No, yeah, mackerel's not on here, but you can apparently catch it. That's fun. A bit weird. Okay, we need to get out of here. Like Arnold would say. We should be good for crabbing. The thing I want is I want a little bit I want a little bit of buffer money, because I think I lose my ability to throw out fuck. I lose my ability to do long lines if I install the crab thing, so I want money enough to be able to put long line thing back. But then again, I could just take a loan, I guess. Yeah, the Norwegians had heavy water, which was very, very important to the Germans. So they did a lot of shit to try and, like, they basically used DK as a fucking staging ground to get to Norway. They didn't give much of a shit about DK, beyond the fact that they wanted to fuck with the Norwegians from it. And, yeah, Norway was a bit unfortunate in the old W. Like that. Choo choo. Heavy water is, as far as I recall it, which is probably only half correct, is a type of water that has an extra molecule, which I think might have been hydrogen, which makes it very good for fuckery. Hey, those are still there. We can actually save the lines. We'll not get many fish, but we can save the lines. Yeah. Yeah, the heavy water shit's very important for nuclear things, I believe. H3O, indeed. Good man. Yeah, whenever I say shit like that, and if any of it just seems remotely wrong, correct the shit right out of me. Because this is going in a VOD. So some poor soul might take it at face value and think it's actually correct. I do try to not say things that I know are wrong though. But the internet's nice. D2O. Huh. Alright. And it was used for the old nuclear ass, wasn't it? Am I fucking up? Hello, ray guns. Found some of the burning wall stuff you made the other day, and I was all like, ah. Very fine. Yeah. It's weird though that they do so much with heavy metal and shit when they should be doing heavy water. In the old Norway. Yay. The burning wheel thing is, you can't find that on YouTube if you're on mobile. Because it only shows the first, I think, 10 playlists, if you go into playlists on the mobile app. That is a deliberate thing YouTube has done. Fuck knows why. So you can see there's not many fish on this, like just one. But this saves the line, which is nice. If that one had, if I'd let that run out completely, which it will very, very, very soon there, I would lose the line as well. As is right now, it pays for rebaiting itself, so that's nice enough. Nah, it's just YouTube's just... it's just shitting itself harder and harder. Like, the new Creator Studio, which everyone will eventually be forced to use, you can't copy tags from. As it was right now, you can take tags from one video, Alt, Control A, and then Control C, even though it didn't look like it, and then you could copy them onto another video, so you didn't have to add new tags for every fucking video, that you were adding the same. You can't copy those anymore, so you have to have them in a text filer. And it's kind of, I think it's YouTube's way of trying to control what sort of content goes up there. They want every video to be new and unique, because that's oh, I just won Fisk as well. Well, better than losing the line. They want all videos to be new and unique, because that's where the ad revenue is. They really, really don't like series, because any series just... views on a series always falls off after the first 2 or 3 videos. They always fall off significantly. So YouTube wants people to make one single video. So it's like, I'm doing Let's Plays, and you can see when a video comes up, even if it's some sort of pile of shit game, I've just streamed once on the stream, and I put the archive up, it always gets more views than current Let's Play. That sort of thing they want. So they don't really like people who... they don't really like it when people stick to certain stuff. It wants things to be clickbaity shitposts, yes, that are advertiser friendly. So basically makeup channels. Seen that. They also removed... actually, I think they have already. Yesterday, supposedly. The ability for the thing to auto-post to Twitter when a video goes up. Kiko has a way of getting around that, so I'll have to get through to him. Okay, I'm actually going to explore a little bit on the map here while we wait. Might as well. Out here, maybe? So I can only fast travel in the bits I've explored, and not through land. Indeed, Tech Man. It's just not what gives the money. Yeah. The thing I like the best about YouTube compared to stuff like what we're doing now, the thing it has over Twitch and stuff is I can upload in the quality that I feel happy with. Like, some games I only want to do Let's Plays of. One, because I like the game and I want it to be as beautiful as it can be. Something like Resident Evil 2, for example. If I was just streaming that, you wouldn't get to see how gorgeous it looks. And yeah. And I also like the fact that there's a certain permanence in that okay, I'm gonna sail around while I talk about this, because we might as well do that. Let's just turn off the engine noise for now. There's a certain permanence in that I upload a video and it stays there, so I feel like it's not just a one-off that if you stream it goes, 30 people watched that, but that was then, there could have been more. They can't go back to it. Oh well, unless you get YouTube, Twitch Prime, and if you slack off for a month with Twitch Prime, all your previous videos get deleted. It's like, fuck. You have sort of that thing where you can go back, you can watch an old series, you have something you can refer to, you can go, oh yes, Armshagger, that's 2 years ago, but it's there, go watch it if you want, instead of having to stream the whole thing, and I like that. But YouTube hates that. Old videos, it doesn't want people to watch them. They sit there, they take up space on their servers for minimum new views, and they hate that, so they want to try and get rid of it. It's kind of like how the government tries to control if people have kids or not. They don't do it directly, but they tax and make certain things more expensive, depending on whether or not they want more kids in the system at that current time in economy or whatever's going on. They're not directly controlling it, but they're making things harder for people who want to do certain things and easier for people who want to do other things. And that's sort of the way they're trying to affect that crap, I think. And it's sad for people like me, Kiko, and Kiko is actually probably the one that does the best with it, because all of his stuff is very YouTube friendly. So whereas me and Halloween are a bit foul-mouthed and we like to play things that might be a bit murderous, which the advert revenue dudes don't like. But Kiko is just, hey, a little bit of the old Borealis, right? Right, that's it, up there. Let's go have a look. Oh, fuck's sake. Hold on. So he has a little bit better than me and Weenie. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Kiko does swear in some of his videos, but it's always the ones where the rest of us are in, like Eye of Argon, all that other stuff. Cthulhu. But it's always relative to the rest of us, so he always is much milder in that regard. But yeah, he's pretty lucky with it, but like it's not good, and I've just sort of decided I don't make any money on any of the stuff I do. I've just decided that I'm just gonna do what the fuck I want, because it's just a headache and it'll just stress you out and it'll compromise how you do things if you try to take account of those things. I just want to put the things up that I want to do, and then if it goes to shit, it goes to shit. That's just that. I can't lose sleep or hair over that shit. What, Eunuch? You have Aurora Borealis in your kitchen? High click number one shot videos. You can only really do the base building from this. What? Are you doing some sort of joke thing that's going over my head, Cyber? Fisk there as well. Oh, Simpsons. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have not watched Simpsons for many years. So I didn't get that, Cyber. Yeah. Yeah, it's just irritating. Weenie's doing very well with Twitch though, so good for him. Oh right, yeah, I guess. But that's the thing, that's also a thing that influences quite a lot of that YouTube, this fucking boat, how videos are made and things. Like, some games just get popular because they make good video compilation montage thingies, where you see a streamer and it's like all the jump scares in a game, and then it's just a video of that. Then you don't have to have watched all the other ones. You can just watch that, get your instant gratification of some idiot screaming into a web camera. And then people will go, wow, nice game. This and this, many places made you scream. Good horror. I'm very, very, very happy with the remake of Resident Evil 2. Because it's sort of... a lot of the horror and jump scares in that are emergent. There's something that happens due to what you do as a player, rather than scripted. Like, if there's a fucker behind a door, that's because something happened to put him behind a door that you likely were responsible for. And that's a lot worse to me because, like, that makes me think, did I do that? Did I not do that? Did that guy go there? Did this happen? And I have this whole thing running in the back of my head about what's going on elsewhere on the map while I'm playing the thing. Whereas stuff like Outlast, it's just go around this corner, booga booga booga. Go around that corner, booga booga booga. Same every time. It's not where... ah, did that zombie end up there? Where's the zombie? Is it actually dead? I shot its legs off. Is it gonna come crawling around the corner? Is it hiding behind this door? I don't hear it. When they're standing still sometimes, they don't make noise. Should I make noise so he'll hear me, but aggro, and then be angry behind the door? What should I do? Things like that, like... you don't get that on reaction videos, because it's all, these days, all horror games that go on YouTube is just... Did he get scared at the bit where it goes where, makes a loud noise, goes clang, has a thing directly in his face immediately that's scripted to be like that because that's the sort of reaction the game dude wants, guy making the game wants, because that's what sells these days. It's not the whole, this guy's brain is slowly deteriorating, 80% of which is due to his own paranoia, due to small tiny things the game is hinting at, and shit like that. I may just be bitter. Sorry, I re-chat. Hey, Milkman. It is about the average viewer, yeah. YouTube basically wants to be the news, I think, Si, but this video is relevant this week, so it's very high on the thing. Next week it's irrelevant because the new big thing is out. That sort of thing, I guess. I don't think the advertiser-friendly thing will kill YouTube. That's the problem with it, because YouTube has been running at a loss for years and years. And if it gets rid of the non-advertiser-friendly things, that means that there's less service going to hosting those videos, those channels, moderating those channels. They'll simply go away. So there's less work, which means YouTube costs less to maintain and run, while the stuff that's actually on there makes money rather than... They're just getting rid of, like, what they probably considered leeches and deadbeats. So, money-wise, it's actually going to be better for them doing what they're doing, and that's the problem. Because you can argue as much as you want about how stupid what they're doing is. That's the bottom line. Sorry, I read again. Indeed, worst. I'm very, very, very fucking tense playing Resi 2. I love it. It's basically almost everything I wanted for a remake. I was ready to go. Okay, the best thing I can hope for is it's maybe as good as Resident Evil 7, and Resident Evil 7 was okay. It was good in the beginning, then it got average, then it went bad, which averaged this out to okay. And I didn't hold much expectations for 2, but the way they did it, I'm really liking. Everyone fucking complains about the zombies though. Bullet sponges. I want Dead Space running necromorph flailing at me. I can headshot it and it dies immediately. Where where I want certainty. I want to be able to kill this thing reliably. I want to be able to know what happens before it happens. I want to know, I want all the things that make me comfortable going into a situation. Things and shit. Like, okay, so you do horror with uncertainty. And either that's going to be uncertainty in combat like they do it here, or it's going to be shit like this guy's unkillable, hide forever, amnesia style. And I much prefer the way they've done it here, at least mixed it up. Third person I don't so much like for horror. I feel like third person is less scary than first person, but this one actually does it okay. I was not the slightest bit scared in any fucking way in Resident Evil 4, 5, 6 and any of the Revelations games, simply because it was third person. It takes it away from me. But yeah, this one actually manages, which is nice. Anyway, I keep reading. Yeah, that's true, Rayman. The problem with that sort of stuff is the vocal minority is just that, a minority. Like, I can sit here and whine all the time about what YouTube's doing and how it's affecting what I like to watch and what I like to make. But the thing is, I'm not the guy making them money. It's just the average idiot who likes to click a thing. It's the same with all those stupid pop-ups and ads. And the Nigerian scam mails, they wouldn't be there if they didn't work. And that's the thing, none of us are gonna fall for that shit. But more people fall for them than not. Enough fall for them for it to make sense. It's all the fucking kids, nans, stupid idiots who just want to click dumb shit and watch dumb shit. And those outnumber largely the people who actually think before they click. Which is why clickbait is so popular now. It's like, people are stupid. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't have the numbers. I just feel like that's where YouTube's going, and YouTube's the one sitting with all the statistics, so I guess they would know. I think so, Milkman, and at the same time I might not think so with the crosshair. From what I read, if you let the crosshair center, there's a 15% chance of an insta-kill. But there's still a chance of an insta-kill, and I don't know if that's just a lower percent chance, or if it needs a limb to take a certain amount of damage before that insta-kill happens. Good Lovecraft quoting there. But yeah, they do certainly take a lot of ammo to the face. I think a lot of the problem with it is as well that ammo is actually fairly plentiful. The way they'd have to do it, if ammo wasn't that plentiful, would be to if they wanted the headshots to matter more, they would just fucking have you headshotting forever, but with a lot less ammo, which means it would be a lot harder. But you aren't supposed to kill stuff anyway, so it's an odd balance, and I feel like they've got it fairly well. But yeah, it's like the zombies can be blinded by flashbang grenades, but they don't get the same blind effect if you shoot out their eyes. It would be nice if they were easier to juke around if when their eyes were gone, but they're not. they see and hear you just as well, which makes you think that they might go by some other sense than sight. But then they actually get blinded by flashbang grenades, and you go, But it's a difficult thing. Like, a lot of people have been yelling about not being able to, zombies aren't scary, they're too slow, you can't make them scary. And I think a lot of the things they did with the remake actually did that right. They made slow zombies scary again, and it works, but it's at the cost of what we're talking about now, where they eat 5 million shots to the head. That's the cost of it, and I don't think it would work without it. Flashbangs are somewhat concussive, yeah, but you'd think a bullet to the head would be just as concussive. Clickbait works very, very well. The problem with YouTube is that okay, so first of all, the thing that runs the suggestion algorithm and all that sort of crap is actually a neural net. A neural net is kind of like an AI. It's a thing that you haven't coded from the bottom up, or it learns, it codes itself from a certain point, which makes the code too complex to look at properly. So the way you interact with it is you go, okay, add this parameter. It's like a creature from black and white. Okay, so I can't directly teach it something, but when it does something bad, I can slap it, and when it does something good, I can scratch it and hope it learns the right lesson for that. From that, and that's the problem with the suggestion algorithm, because it goes, okay, so I've been told to weigh video interaction, and interaction is users interacting with the video. The first and weakest way of interacting with the video is viewing it. If you have clicked on a video, that's an interaction. If you have liked a video, that's an interaction. That counts for a lot, because that's you actively doing something to a video you've clicked. The same with disliking. Disliking counts just as much as a like does. As well does commenting. What's the result of that? Okay, so if people want their videos to be seen, they need it to be commented on, liked, or disliked. Which one is irrelevant? How do you get that happening? Okay, so if I write something retarded, or say something stupid, or something that people agree with, a sensible man on YouTube sits there going, yeah, well, today's situation is kind of bad, but it's not that bad. No real sense, but not confrontational in any way. And people sort of go, yeah, I guess. They don't like, they don't comment, they don't dislike this. It's like, yeah, okay. They might like, maybe. They might write, I agree. But as you can see on review sites, a lot of people don't write positive reviews. A lot of people only get out the bed to type out a review if they're pissed with the product. That's the only thing that can get most people out and do a thing. So, how do you get comments and likes or dislike on a video? You write shit. You put piss on there. You piss as many people off as possible and pretend you are right with the thing you're saying. The more self-righteous and pretendy that you are correct you are, the more irritating people will find you, and the more they will feel the need to prove you wrong. How do they do that? They dislike your video, they type your shitter in the comments, other people will come and say maybe you're right, they will start arguing with those, comments start flowing because they can't start talking to each other. People like echo chambers, so they don't get that echo chamber in a comment where a guy, on a video where a guy says the earth is flat, for example. What do they do then? They go to other people, go, look at this idiot, here's a video from that idiot. Oh, look at that, more views, more dislikes, more comments saying you're wrong. Hello, trending popular video. And what did you have to do? Be a shitter. Be a manufactured shitter. A lot of the people making videos like that, where they are just so abysmally wrong and stupid and offensive, the video is a lot smarter than the person seems, which means that the person likely knows what he or she is doing. It's not just some idiot making a video actually believing this, it's someone farming people for viewer interaction, because that's what gives you sales, which gives you views, which gives you money, because that's how it fucking works. And yeah, and that's YouTube pretty much. Also, hello, Sweat Vinegar. But I've had this rant many times on stream. Sorry, I'm here to fisk. I've come to fisk. Let's put on some fitting fisking music and the old engine sound again. Fisk. Yeah, that's the problem with YouTube. It's not just putting stuff on there what is good. It's not taking your time to make something that's good. It's taking your time basically to play the system in a way that your thing gets to win TM without actually being compelling in any way. Hey, Arts. I've come to Fisk reminds me of something Sweden told me. They had a very, very new man play Dungeons and Dragons with them, and he made the best comment in the world. As his character arrived, all he said was, "I have come in search of Fisk." Which is great, because it's true. It's what he had come for. But the matter-of-factness of his statement just made me happy. I believe it's the same guy who said, "I keep bees for companionship and money." I like people who announce their intentions and what they do. He didn't mess around, it's true. Well, I don't know if he did. I mean, it didn't seem like it. But yeah, that's YouTube. And that's sad. There was a thing it was doing, because the neural net also controls what videos get demonetized to a certain degree, when it's not done manually, which is rare. Only really happens with the big channels. So what it was doing is, they have channels that are generally considered toxic by YouTube and controversial and non-advertiser friendly, and it looks at the people subscribed to those channels, and then it looks at those people what other channels they are subscribed to, and if there's a big enough overlap, it start demonetizing the other channels as well. So if there's an overlap with, for example, some dickbag like Keemstar and Lady Ass's nail makeup tutorials, then both will get demonetized because the system associates them with each other. Go nod. Hey, Presidente. Are you quoting my namesake? What a fine man. Wait, no, that's just a movie he was in. He didn't actually say that. Was that airplane? I think it was. Or police squad. What? Paul Atreides. Is this 100? No. Alas, that will not happen. Kermimu. First one's an E rather than an I think. The only thing that will stop Conard is death. Well, I don't know, maybe. I mean... Damn it. Red Fisk. I like how we can get around our quota by switching boats. I don't think that's how overfishing works. Is some intense fishing, yeah. Everything is originally from The Simpsons or South Park. They did everything first. They are not parodies of things that are cleverer and exist already. Cut the Fisk. Cut the thumb and the Fisk. It's true. Lord of the Lothar. Is a lot of pillock, yeah. Man cuts a ton of fish with one cut. Weird nails and super thumb. You should drink more calcium, mate. Yeah. Simpsons and shit like that took away people's ability to be clever. Like, there's a whole generation that thinks Quoth the Raven is from a Simpsons Halloween episode, not actually know who Poe is, which of course makes my arrogant ass angry. I did not do the literature just so you can talk about yellow fucking cartoons. Goddamn kids. Get up my lawn it. You can sink your boat apparently. I'm not gonna, but you can. Milauta. I'm in town, mates. Wake the fuck up. I'm here to fisk. It isn't, no. In the same way, it's not McDonald's fault that people are too dense to not eat it. But still... That was alright. I preferred Lovecraft. If you have to choose between the two, which you don't. Yeah, I think I've read maybe 5 or 7 or something of his things. I don't remember most of them, but that's not the point. It exists so I can feel superior. Ah! Who knows? I think Poe started later than Lovecraft, and as a result, Lovecraft had a lot of dumb shit he started with. That's not backing. That's not backing. That's not reverse. Not so quick. Not so quick. Not so quick. Fuck. 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 Fuck, nice. Shit, no. No. Drift. Drift, literally. Shit. Yeah, the old age being lucked out with the connective mythos. Fucker hated games though. So he'd probably be pissy. But then again, there weren't many types of games back then. He might have liked some of the other ones. That's how we fisk, Bloodman. Good man, Ono. I think most people default to Nipen when they think tentacles today. Lovecraft did not hide his racism. He was very open and vocal about that. He did mellow out in his later years, but yeah. I mean, he was a scared, weird fucker. That was what he was, and it showed. I just like taking his books at face value, and like Shadow over Innsmouth, definitely not about interracial breeding. No, it's like you breed with fucking sloppers from the sea, you get fish children. It's not at all a commentary on anything in the real world. Nah, not my brain. Yeah, Lovecraft stuff is difficult because to explain it will be understanding it, and understanding it is one of those things that generally people can't do. Oh fuck, I docked in the wrong way now. Shit. Okay, there we go. We fisked a bit. Put back the proper fisk music. Do fisk. What? Oh, I'm an idiot. Fucking dumbass. Where's my fisk? Where's my fisk? Up here. God damn it. Town. Okay, we can probably actually get a job here in the bar. Okay, so both times we delivered that stuff in the cruise ship. The ship almost tried killing us. Both times. That was certainly an experience. Lovecraft loved the shit out of cats though. Despite that cat's name, he was a fine man in that story, and Lovecraft was very fine with him. Okay, are we gonna go crabbing? We can try the crabbing. We need a pothole installed. We can now no longer get lines out, okay? So oh, okay, that thing still is fine. Okay, how do I need pots, right? Ah, small pot. Pot bait. How many pots can I have on this thing? It's hard to see. I think I have to go like this. Hey, kitty. It doesn't seem to take up any spots. Okay, that's fine then. Let's buy some more. Ah! I can just switch between them as I want. Fuck, what am I doing? What the fuck's a barrel for then? In the Wayne June thing, it's called Blackman, the cat. So I think it might very well have been changed. So what's the barrel for? For the crabs? I guess? I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Okay, well let's go find some crabs. Let's put some fuel in our fucker here. Repair it a bit as well. Yeah, I'm also against censorship in literature. I saw a review of the new Call of Cthulhu game where they were like, never was it addressed how much of a racist Lovecraft was. It was like, what? The game doesn't address he was a racist. What? It is indeed not the slightest bit relevant. And apparently the Lovecraft reward for horror thing is also very controversial because the man was a racist and apparently not to be celebrated for anything. It's like R. Kelly not being able to sing because he urinates on people. I mean, if the man makes good music, he makes good music, but while he's alive, let's not maybe pay for his lifestyle. But Lovecraft is long dead, so let's take from him what was good and leave the rest. It's like when he describes those tribes that are completely savage and degenerate. Like, I think he's trying to say something about a certain race there, but I always just take it as, okay, so anyone that hang out, that grow up as a fucking tribe are gonna be some sort of deranged, regardless of color. That's just how I took it. Even though he is probably trying to say a thing. I think the most direct thing he got away with was in what's called Reanimator. His description of the black corpse. That's literally just him saying, "This dude's black and it's a creature." So that was bad. That one's hard to headcanon away. Yeah. The rest of it I just see sort of like, okay, so that's just how you're gonna be. You're gonna be fucking Belgian and grow up outside civilization and you're gonna be a fucking savage. I'm not gonna... Not such like what like. I don't think that's how racism works. It's like those people going, "Oh, this character in this book or TV show is a racist. Get rid of him." And yes, he's the villain. He's supposed to be a shitter. Okay, so grab pot. Okay, place pot. Okay, bait pot. Okay, we baited pot. Nice. Okay. So what's the barrel for? Set pot? Ugh. Oh, I see. Whee! Nice. Fuck. Racism is not okay, but like discrediting everything someone does, especially if it's just entertainment and not some sort of weird ideology, because of it, is kind of, mate, nah. It's like finding a single raisin in a nice meal and not just picking the raisin out, but just binning the whole thing. Lovecraft was made. He would probably be on the internet today if it existed back then. I would like to be able to see how far away that thing actually is, because he was sort of a great deal of his racism, I think, came from the fact that he was angry he couldn't get a job, and there weren't a lot of jobs back then, and stupidly he thought, I'm entitled to job over these people because I'm not some color. And he sat there and was bitter about that. But like mentioned, he did mellow out. I think his wife had a big say in that as well. Married some, I think she was, what, Russian? And she was like, HP for fuck's sake. And he was like, oh, soz. Lovecraft, he's weird. He was a sickly book child that I don't think really got out much. I think he went to school, but I'm not sure about the details. A lot of his education was him sitting at home reading shit. I hope this works. Indeed, Rumpy. There was indeed a tick on there, but that was an honest mistake. That was not something that someone put there. Ah, I should have. Ah, I can't be asked waiting in docks. I'm just gonna fuck around. Gonna go up there and go through. Did I disable the fucking music? I think I did. Then north, leave. Whee. Yeah. It's like, I mean, a lot of the writing Lovecraft did were inspired by his racism, but the way they showed up, or were influenced by it, but the way it showed up in the stories was that he just used the traits that he associated with certain people to describe monsters, and if you just see them as monsters rather than the people he's trying to say something about, then it works. And that's fine. But like, yeah, it's kind of like saying that, oh, who was it? Van Gogh was nuts, therefore anything he drew was shit or something, because he had a mental illness, and that's how he ended up the paintings he did. Lovecraft was racist, even for the period. He was like extra racist. His just manifested in these weird stories about monsters, which I much prefer to other ways that it could have shown up. People notice those sort of things when it's... They think it's... they can make a thing out of it. Because that's the thing, right? New Call of Cthulhu game comes out. It's decidedly average. A decidedly average review is not fun. What do we do to get those views again? Controversy. Let's dredge this shit up. Anyway, Fisk. King Crab. Actually, I don't know how we sort the crab. We'll find out, I guess. Fuck it, let's just skip some time. I want my crab. I'll circle around trying to scare the crabs in. I hope I didn't put too many things down. I don't know how much room the crabs take. Circling around, waiting for crabs. 5 hours, fucking hell. This is a waste of fuel. I can't be arsed docking. There's the clattery of the music. Don't be weird in the chat. Peasant crab, oh no. We are here for the crab. Okay, how the fuck do I crab? I'm assuming I need a little hook to get that fucker up. Supposedly, from what I've read, you need to bin the lady crabs. We're hunting for man crab today, boys. Some lovely muck. Ja men oj då. Jag ska ha slask, Kalles slask i burk. Och mina ägg fan. Jag ska Lars Loket, Bingolotto, Igel, Snigelkorv. Snigelkorv. Yeah, that stuff's gross. Nej, snuskpelle. Snigelkorv indeed. It's the snigelkorv, I believe, is slug in Swedish. Basically snail sausage. Okay, so I don't know if I can hold this shit without actually coming to a proper stop, which will be very, very, very fucking difficult in this goddamn boat. Crab, that's crustacean. Da, 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 da. My Swedish rants. Nedsupna gubbar, lastbilschaufförer som aldrig säger nej, 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 nej. You haven't been here a lot, have you, President? I'm fluent in Swedish. It shows every now and then. Mainly to irritate Rambola. He's angry that I'm more eloquent than him. I don't think we have to cut the crab. Oh, kitty. Oh, you're damn. Fuck. Stop the fucking boat, mate. So how do I... Well, that's gross. Fuck, I'm stuck. That's a lady crab. Goodbye. Fuck. Oh, I just hold it down, I see. There we go. Very fine. What's the meaning, Rambola? Don't you say those things to pretend not to be asked? I think you're thinking of roly-polies, Laron. Or Daddy Tankback, or whatever the fuck they're called. Wait, what's the meaning, Rumpy? Do I have DK accent? Please say it ain't so. Isn't that what they call it? Also, hello, Valley Man. I do not. Have you heard a proper DK accent? No plut. You do it, Rayguns. You tell him. Oh, right, I see. I thought you meant my English. Reagan's the man with the name that I refuse to pronounce because he picked it exclusively to irritate me. Yeah, see, President reveals himself to be Swedish there by ending a sentence with or. Snuskig eller fucking Swedish. Ska ha snasskalas. Kalas. I can't pick this one up for some reason. Do I need to put the barrel away or something? I hope not. Okay, I see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's not get stuck on the other side this time. What's a minin? Why is it extra noticeable when I'm in Uck? Men only, mates. Jesus fuck. Fucking hell, some sort of convention here for ladies. What's the meaning? No clue. They're like, oh, look at this exotic creature. When I stay the fuck away from my crabs. I'll show you in a bit. Was a minion. Oh no! Don't be slain. No slander rumpers. Laughing at me not being being exotic creature was the minion. I will hear no slander. Stop the fucking boat, you knob. What's a minion? It's like that time you didn't believe that cheese could get stuck in your mouth. Alright, let's have a look here. Alright, so this is a male crab. You can tell because the underside, like the belly, is flat. That's a male again. Another dude. Another dude. It's actually harder with the lights on. Fuck. The crabs are kind of... Ah, fuck. That's a lady. You can see it's got a fat belly. Out you go. Oh god. I feel like a bit like that. That's a lady again. A bit like that Darwin beetle when I'm doing this. It's another way. Oh boy, this will take a while. Was a minute. Alright, today we crabbing, yeah. The kind of cheese where you get stuck in your mouth, you try to get it out. Apparently this bin's rumpy. I don't know what the meaning is. Shit! Thing asked us up all the way up. I didn't have to move the... Oh yeah, the barrel moves itself, I see. A really stringy cheese. Man crab. Dear God, that's a lot of crab we can potentially get. Wait, what's the min then? Damn it, Rumpus. I don't know, I can try. I can't fling him as far as Xeno Clash though, sadly. I'll make an attempt. The rump fisk was a minion. I don't think fisk have butts. They just have one of those proletariats. Okay, let's see. Nice. Wonder if I can... Run out of storage space for king crab. No! My last crab pot. Maybe I can just bring it up to deck and then just sort it in town. Don't you fuck off! Ah, it turned green. It's going bad. Yeah, I can try that. Ayo. Okay, that just empties it. Okay, so that's not a thing we can do. Ooh. Crab cushion. Nice. Is that an actual medical condition? Crabbing. Sometimes it just fucking goes straight up to full speed. Like when I press V, it sort of goes yeah. So are these barrels what decide how much crab I can have? Og visst han burde drift her og slask grabb fan. Hej, det blir snuskigt. Kolla fiskepojkar, titta vad ni kör. Kolla fiskepojkar, titta vad ni gör. 10 liten fiskepojkar. Something, something, something. That was not a lot of money for the work. Crabbing ain't worth it, at least not with the small traps. No, Rumpy. I like that you think that that song is butcherable. Look a mate. I might go back to regular fisking. Fuck's sake. How am I taking hull damage against a goddamn tire put there specifically so that wouldn't happen? Stupid fucking boat. Enjoying a pizza cold is like going to the movie theater to have a nap. I mean, you might as well just eat a bunch of cardboard instead. It's cheaper and the same experience. Can be a nice nap. I must admit I've done that once. One summer it was so hot and it was the only air-conditioned room. Watch the movie as well though. Might be strawberries, yeah. I think I need a boat that can take bigger crab pods for it to be worth. Hi. That's the point, President. If you're gonna eat pizza cold, you might as well eat something else that couldn't have been a hot pizza. In the movie theater thing, you could have stayed home and have a nap instead, and not wasted the money or effort. Before you start defending Ono too much, I'd like to point out that he eats lemons with the peel. Just so you know what kind of man you're dealing with. Aye, there you go. Notice Vilanius using the word had, Ono. $50 fucking kilometers. Not too far off some of these actually. I might just upgrade the engine of this and start doing donuts. Jesus. Yeah, baby. Bling fucking bling. Go do some of the jobs as well, I guess. Forsult? Where the fuck is Forsult? And how do you get the cod? I forget. Maybe we should just explore some of the fucking things and try and see if we can find some shit. Let's do that. Let's go dump a thing and then go explore. Get some of the other towns unlocked. There's one there. We don't know what it is because maps didn't exist. And there's one there. Yeah, let's see if we can get that one and maybe that one. We were fisking for what with mackerel again? I forget. We want ideally pollock. Right, makes sense. Ayo. Oxen free. I'm allowed to. You tell him, Chewie. Oh yeah, we got a better engine now. Ayo. Oxenfree was extremely ass, and I feel bad about that. Man was all like, hey, this guy's let's playing our game. Yay, yay, yay. Who are you? I'm the guy who voiced Ren. Oh. So that was the thing. I would have liked Oxenfree a lot more if the Ren guy was not, like... He was set up to be kind of likable, but he couldn't die. The character that was kind of ended up being okay, but was initially unlikable, was the only one that I think could die. But there was just no way to have this Ren go fuck himself. Absolute dickhead, that guy. I let's played it. We lost ourselves Bio Nigel that day. The conversations were well written, yeah, but they were just sort of difficult to navigate as a player. They were sort of natural TM in the way that they worked, but as a player it was kind of difficult to play the game, because as soon as you click the dialogue option, your person would just immediately interrupt the person speaking to say the thing, rather than understand time dialogue, but click it and then say something when the other person's done speaking. Don't cut people off so you get to hear half dialogue, and if you try to wait, the chance might disappear. It's like, fuck, what? And the Ren guy was such a shitter. He was like totally shit bag. And the game didn't... I think the game kind of Nigeled him in that it wanted you to like him. So you weren't allowed to just go fuck that guy. Hello. My upgraded searchlight does not actually reach a lot further. It's my tootie boat, yeah. Yeah, the game had some interesting things. I just fucking hated Ren. I hate that sort of person. I'm gonna do some drugs, and you're like, no, you're not gonna do any drugs because we're out here we're all alone, and I don't want to look after your stupid ass once you start doing dumb shit. And he was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, that means that basically fuck you. And the character was just like that the entire way through. This is the ocean. Out here's the open sea. We're talking about Oxenfree. And why the game wanted you to like a character that was unlikable. This fucking boat. Just go straight. Please. Okay, I guess not. I press once. I try to straighten this fucker out. He just wants to swerve constantly. This is like Desert Bus, but it alternates between both sides. There are whales and shit already. Never. No desert bus. I did Resident Evil Survivor, that should be enough. Okay, I'm gonna bug report that. What's our boat called again? I forget. Let me have a look. Hold on. BB. Right. Just sorting that out. Oh, now I can sail. Wait, hold on. Okay, I thought that maybe... Wait, hold on. So if I wait here long enough for the boat to recenter itself in the menu, will it go straight? Did that actually work? Let's try that. Let's try donutting it and going like that, waiting 20 seconds. This is fine news there. Right, let's test. Nope. Okay. We never saw Hefty Helga. She was just mentioned, and Kiko was very, very happy to not have her in the story, along with the Boston Buggerer. Fuck. Supposedly she got a peg leg, but Kiko refuses to confirm. Fucking boat, stop swerving. Let's go straight that way. Thank you, maybe. No. Okay, now it goes straight. Okay, now I click D very, very quickly. Just one tap there. Okay. I think I figured out how it works. Tap again. Okay, so every tap is an amount of degrees in a direction. It's not like a steering wheel where you hold it until you want it to stop. I now understand the steering. Very fine. Hello. It does auto send, it just takes a while. Yes, Kitty? Wait, was that a shark? Did I hit that? Uh-oh. That didn't damage me. Can't. Staying up and being able to sleep are two different things. That's probably why I didn't take damage. If it wasn't a shark. It could have not been there. It had a whole plane of everything below that it could go down into and not be there. I have like the sea and it had to go right under me. It's kind of like how birds, even if there's a completely massive field, they always fly directly above me, as if going, I could have shat on you, mate. I would if I had shit in me, but nah. Okay, so maybe this is Pulsar, and this is where we need to go put the thing in for the job. Oh, okay, so it's... sharks lay eggs. Oh no, here Bloodman goes again, going on about Carthage. You weren't even alive then, mate. It's your blood speaking. Sure, the birds. They probably fly if you knew how. I saw you there, sneaking Carthage in. Yeah, look at that shit. Like... That's completely unnecessary, yet they put it in. Even the wheels rotate. What? Phantoms? Carthena. President of her house, I guess, yeah. Fucking sorcery. What's these up on the hill? Things that haven't loaded in? A bush that's yet to get its opacity texture? Who the fuck in Norway on this shitty island over here drives around midnight? Fucking creepers. How's my certificate going? Halfway there. I guess this is to prevent rocks falling down. See this in Sweden sometimes. They have massive wire meshes over some of the fuel to prevent rocks from absolutely binning people. I should probably say before asking the question, can I stop in time? I'm gonna attempt to drift in. Problematically, I have to drift in with this side. Fuck. Stupid boat, no. Now I'm just gonna turn off the engine and go in like around now. Ja, Naka. Oh, the Aurora Borealis is up. Fuck. Yeah, almost, I guess. I see. I mean, I don't see why not. If just I can hit it with this side here, I should be able to go like this, and he'll give me a tug job all the way over there. Ah, why over there? Why, mate? Ah! Ah, why? It was closer. I guess being over there is better. I seem to not be able to take damage while I'm being fucking wired onto there. Jesus Christ. Or time! Ich will keine Schokolade, ich wünsche einen Mann. No, Pollock supply at Ackerfjord, that's nice. We can do that. Assorted fisk, we can do that. We can do that. You're too busy with that, fuck you. Kom igjen out da. Yes, kitty? Look at this man. He is serious about Fisk. Three hours it took us to get over here. We could probably actually go to this one as well. Oh man, I'm so close to the fucking side there. Jesus piss. Do I reverse you out? I think I might reverse you out ever so slightly. That's forward, you fuck. That's not where I pressed. Ah! That's not... I'm not trying to turn at all. Why are you going into the side? Okay, maybe this will actually get me free. No, fucking piss. Milauta. I'm out, okay. Yes, kitty? Dun 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 dun. Yes, kitty? I'm gonna save. I'm gonna go exclaim happily on the forums how I figured this out. You can listen to some music while meanwhile. Greenland, you say? It's the Cove music from Darkest Dungeon, of course it's fitting. So they want Pollock. I go over here, discover this, sail down here, get my Pollock. Get it? Oh no! Aw, Vokes. Wait, you see this, Rumpy? Aw. Oh. Did I sniffle and snort into the microphone thinking I was muted but not the game? When I when I alt tab like this, the game's audio mutes itself. I meant to mute myself though as well, if I was sniffly. Okay, yeah, well, I was just alt tab then. Oh fuck, I'm doing it again. Where's my music? License ran out? What? I'll tie them for the wash boys, but I'm not really dirty, honestly. Okay, I'm gonna go over here, go over, get the fisk, do the mission, sell the fisk, and then we're gonna do some battlemen. Yeah, I think it muted itself. Supposedly doing the jobs for the towns is decent rep eventually. You get more and more money the more rep you have with town. In the beginning it's probably, like, right now it's peanuts compared to what we make from the fisk, but so I don't know if you heard, but they patched, they reworked the Alps in Battle Brothers. I may have mentioned this while you've been here. They are now much worse. I feel like it was one of those stop whining or we'll patch them more. Kleb and Fisk. We can do this. Would we primarily be Fiskermen? I mean, the only banner thing we could do would be Kraken, and that's an octopus. It's actually, no, it's a squid, I think. What is it? I'm not sure. Ray guns. Look up Battle Brothers Kraken. Look at its head. Squid or octopus? Tentacle tips suggest squid. Head suggests octopus, maybe squid. I don't know. How would we know if they like crab or fisk? Is it just a judgment call? Entirely up to us? It's an octopus, okay. So... I cough. So, right, before the Alp would sit around on the map and cast Nap on you. And then Nightmare. And you'd have to go around wake your dudes up. Now it casts something on you which puts a field around your dude and 2 shadows that he has to fight before he can move away. Every single Alp casts this, which means that every character, for every Alp there is, if you're fighting 3 Alps, every character, every turn, has to kill 6 things to be allowed to move. 6 things. And they cast 2 more each turn on top of those. So it basically made them much, much, much harder to catch the Alps. The phantoms that are around the dudes, they don't care about armor. The only thing that mitigates their damage, which goes straight to health, is resolve, because they are not real. And they always hit, they cannot miss, which means your defensive stats are completely irrelevant, and you have to either footwork, rotate, or I don't know if you can shield slam them away to actually be allowed, or kill them to be allowed to move away. They die in 1 hit, which is nice, but since there are 2 per guy, it means that guy has to either be able to AoE them to be able to move in the same turn, or use both his attacks to be allowed to move. And the Alps will just spam these, and this is happening while you are trying to chase them. It is literally a run wipe if you run into them. Because if you set your dudes to flee and they cast that shit on you, your guys will just die. Because those things cannot miss, and your guys will keep trying to go out of zones of control with them. And since defense does not matter at all, they will get hit every single time and die. Every character gets what? Well, there are ways of beating them, but the problem with it is that now more so than before, you need a very, 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 very special and specific team to fight them. Which is irritating. They cast 1 per Alp. Yeah, I misspoke there. 1 per Alp per turn. So if you're 3 guys against 3 Alps, each guy gets 1. And the minimum amount of, the maximum amount of Alps you can be ambushed by is 10. So the maximum amount of shadows per turn is 20. That's a lot. That means basically anyone who misses any attack in a turn will have to, will basically be on the back ass completely. Because if you're standing there, you have to defeat 2 of these things to make them go away. You miss 1 of them, there'll be 3 next turn, and if there's 3 next turn, the only way you can deal with those is either AoE or have dagger spec and be able to attack 3 at the 3 in a turn. They do cast each turn. I'm sorry, they do. Yes and no. I thought maybe that when a dog had engaged the Alp, they would stop casting like necromancers, but they keep casting. What I've seen happen with the dogs is they go halfway to the Alp, and then the Alp casts on the dog dies, and then there are shadows between you and the Alp as well as around you. Good man. But yeah, dogs give you a chance of eating them. It's true. But generally, the only way to really beat them properly is like, you want nimble, high resolve characters, ideally with a full swing AoE, so that they have a chance to kill everything around them in a turn, which is the only way to get to move. Berserk, really good fatigue thingy, and Pathfinder, maybe footwork to get past them, because you still have to chase the Alps down. That has not changed in the slightest. And they will still try to move away from you, and they still have massive reduction to range damage. So much, in fact, that I think without a ranged, a legendary ranged item, I don't think you can even apply a poison to them. And they up their HP, so even if you do apply a poison to them, they're likely not to die. I don't know, Cybert, that I don't know. Usually what happens is the first thing that gets cast on is an archer, so he has to get his dagger out and fuck around. I don't know if they can be shot at ranged at all. Range is generally bad against Alps because they have they're hard to hit, it's at night, always, and they have severely reduced damage to ranged attacks. I think they have skeleton levels of piercing resistance. Just a ranged attack it seems, I don't think they actually do to regular piercing stuff. You can make the resolve potion, that can work a little bit. The thing is, you get overwhelmed anyway. Like, if you send in your bannerman, I don't know what the scaling is on the damage reduction from high resolve, But if you send in your Bannerman, even then, he'll just get overwhelmed by the shadows because they just keep coming. Always, always, always. And like with the Hexen and the Charm and shit, you can eventually go over and hit her enough times with a club so that you'll either be stunned or you'll fill her fatigue bar so much that she can't keep casting it, and then you can kill her. The Alps you can literally not get to unless you luck out with terrain, and the terrain is likely to be more against you than for. Turn the battleground. Really? I don't think that does anything though, because I've seen the Alps fight in the dark at day due to a bug, and literally the only thing that happens is your archers can shoot, and with the shadows, I think they prioritize either the lower resolve dudes, the ones that are closer, or people with weapons that don't work if they're in melee. The guy I saw playing the other day, his archer literally always had shadows on him, so he just had his dagger out. Are you thinking of the cat's eye potion, which gives you night vision for a bit? The thing is, what I would do with an archer against Alps, they don't need line of sight, so you still need to position fairly well. What I would hope is to get a poison on them, but with the ranged reduced damage, it's too difficult to do enough damage for the poison to apply. And with the extra HP, it won't matter anyway. The best bet, I think, would be Goblin Poison, but I don't think the Shadow thing is actually costs little enough AP to have the Goblin Potion not make them able to cast it. So basically, fuck. Okay, that's weird. Sometimes it just turns slightly on the side here, so I should be able to back out, right? Thing is, no. Not that much. No. Fuck. Stop. Stop. No, what are you doing? Not that way. Not that way. Oh, it's turning to thingy now. I'm gonna hit this thing with my ass. I cheese and get stuck like this. Yeah. Or you would just dock with a fucking gangplank so you wouldn't be hugging the goddamn wall. The problem is this hook. As soon as I'm on this side, this thing slightly snags against the wall, which has a tendency to push my boat. Either like if my ass touches, it'll thump off, sending the front in, and vice versa. So my best bet is usually just grinding slowly as I can against the side here, and hope I can get out. If either of these ends touch the side, I'm gonna start spinning. As soon as I get out the orange, I can fast travel. Yeah, I think that I really like the new DLC, but Hexen, Alp, and Scrat I think need some tuning. I think they are basically theoretical enemies, because I don't think the devs play the game that much. I think they're theoretical enemies that are supposed to work, but don't really mechanically. I think they looked at the numbers and thought this might work, and then they didn't playtest it very much themselves. And then they're just like, yeah. I don't think the devs really like people, the community talking about... I have forgotten how to access the map. game balance. I don't think they want anything to do with that. But it is M. I thought it was C for chart. Or tab. What am I doing? Okay, I'm gonna go this way out. Because I think that might actually... Yeah, because of this reef shit, I think that might block fast travel. So if I get this way out, I might be able to fast travel to here from now on. Yeah. I like the Scrat's shield mechanic, but... a lot of the enemies just seem like you have to have this very specific build now to beat them. The Ancient Legion and the zombies back when they were the dudes and the orcs all had a specific style they played, as well as the goblins. There were some ways you could fight them that would be much more effective, but you could usually, with a little luck and being a bit overgeared, make do with something that might not be optimal but would still work. A lot of the new enemies just seem like specific counter build or fuck off. In the Scrat's case, you basically need nimble dudes from what I can tell, because their attacks immediately bypass armor, and even with the amount of health I have on a lot of my guys, like 80 ideally, they just fucking die. 1 or 2 attacks and they die. So unless I can burst damage the Scrats down immediately, that's just not enough. I need nimble to be able to mitigate that almost unavoidable amount of direct health damage you get, which is kind of ass. The Hexen was very much about clubs, but they're not that horrific. The Unhold I like, because you can sort of that you have options against those. That they're not a pushover, but you have options. Same with the spiders. I like those too. The Alps, as they were before, were just boring. It took so long to do anything. Now they're just boring and even more difficult. They're like the same amount of time of boring with added stress on top as well. It's like fucking hell. Why would you do this to me? Please. They're gonna go green. Not quite yet. We green, blue, blue, blue. No, not yet. Alright, they have the thing where you can't fast travel in a certain distance from these, but you can just travel across them. So it doesn't matter anyway. Seems like going to the map and fast traveling a lot has tendency to make the music stick in the middle. Yeah, Scrat's basically all mana access, which works okay. You can beat them in other ways as well, so that's okay, but like they put a massive time limit on you because the Scrat just do so much fucking damage. Yeah. I have yet to find out how to reliably get poison from web necks. I can get as many webs as I want by daggering them, but poison, I have no fucking idea. It's weird. Also, I would like a way to reliably seek out direwolves, semi-reliably at least, somewhere I could go and think there might be direwolves here. Kind of like how if you want Unhold, you go north. Yeah, the sticks are good against Hexen, but there's not really much you can do against Alps if you don't have the right, like, what are they called? Necrosavants have always been have taunt or get fucked. Not really, but close to. You can beat them still without taunt. There are ways to get around that, so there are other ways of dealing with them. Same with Ancient Legion. There are a few ways of going about that stuff. Also zombies. Like, the new ones just feel like we have this one gimmick, and come hell or high ass, you have to play towards it. Kind of like killing the Necromancer in a zombie fight. There were many ways of going about that shit before. You could decapitate the zombies, you could make your way to him. It was awkward, but it worked eventually. You could snipe him, which was the way I think most people tried to do it. But if that failed, you had other options as well. The fucking... whatchamacallem thingies are just... they're just difficult. And there's one counter, and it's a bunch of late game traits that you need a late game build for. Other than that, it's like you're likely gonna die, and you're not gonna die in a fun way. The always hit on the ghost is irritating because those fights are about getting to the Alps. The Alps will keep spamming that shit unless you catch them. So the fight technically is about killing the Alps. But they add an enemy that will root you in place, and you can't shield wall and try to get out of its ass of control. You just have to kill it, or have someone else do it and then try to move. They made it a lot harder to catch the Alps, which was irritating as shit to begin with. Before it was just slow, now it's slower and deadlier, and it's the same reward. And there are less ways you can do it now as well. Before you could take Resilience and hope not to be asleep for as long. There was a bunch of perks you could have that would help you. Now it's literally just... there are 3 stats that matter in that. 4 technically. Health, stamina, melee attack, and resolve. That's it. Which means making armor irrelevant is nice because that helps with fatigue, but it also means there's less ways for you to be able to deal with them. You can't go, okay, I need to face these. I don't have the men that have the perks for it. What can I do with items and money to try and make up for that? And the answer is nothing. There's nothing you can do with items and money to even try and make that fight a little easier. Nothing. And that's shit. The thing I think, Milkman, is that, which is also something I've ranted about before, I think the devs have deliberately made a lot of the information obtuse and inaccessible in the log and shit, because they don't like people questioning design decisions. They're fine with bug reports, but they don't like people going, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like the way you've done this. So they made it so that a lot of the mechanics are hard to understand and see how it works. Like all the resolve checks, you don't see anywhere in the goddamn log. You said resisted due to resolve. You don't know, which we do now, that when a Hexen Charm is a resolve check at negative 35 resolve. You don't see that in the log. You don't see what 9 lives triggers or stuff like that. So that bug with 9 lives, which apparently is still there, had gone unreported from the launch of the game until devs apparently fell over it, making the DLC and fixed it, because people don't know half the mechanics and roles and how exactly they work. And I think that they've hidden those things because they don't like people going, you should do it like this, I don't like the way you do the numbers, blah 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 blah. They don't want people to do that, so they just hid it, so people can't complain about something they don't understand. And I think the Alp mechanics were fairly understood, and people whined about them, and the devs don't like that. So they went, we were going to change them, and now they're worse. And as Darth Vader would say, pray I don't patch them further. I think there's a little bit of that lingering in it. I don't think that was, they sat down around a table and made that decision, but I think sort of a little bit of that mentality might have gone into the design decision with the Alps. But then again, I might be completely wrong. I had a... the example I always use is the there was a dude, as most stories start on the forums, and he was looking at his ranged attack, his ranged defense stats, and a specific combat, and he was sitting there and he was shooting at an enemy, and he looked at the log and his chance to hit according to and then compared that to his stats and what the log said, and he went on the forum and he was all like, okay, here's the log. Here's the log for this. I have these and these stats. I don't understand how these numbers work. I don't understand. I have this and this number. Enemy has this and this. I have high ground. Why is the chance to hit what it is in the log? Because it makes no sense with the stats I'm seeing and have available to me. He was not questioning their design. He was just questioning how it worked. He just wanted to know so he could play better. And the only response from the dev on the forum was working as intended. It was not what he asked. He wasn't asking if it was bugged. He was simply asking... Actually, hold on. He was simply asking to be told to know why the numbers showed up the way they did, because he didn't understand. He was not saying, you've done your game dumb. Don't do your game dumb. Nothing like that. But that was just the dev's response. And I think one of their problems is they don't have a community manager. They don't have someone to talk to people. They just have people who are very, very... I'm not going to discriminate or stereotype programmers, but I am. They just have people with that typical stereotypical programmer attitude of, it's my thing, fuck off. This guy knows nothing, I'm Huffy. And that's what they get. Also, hello there. Indeed. And that's what I'm worried about. Because the devs respond very quickly to bug reports on the Steam forums, but they do not at all engage in any of the balance issues that people are talking about. At all. They don't defend them, they don't look at them, they don't do anything. So, yeah. They're also quite happy to let people sit around with wrong assumptions. People literally playing the game thinking a thing works the way it doesn't. Like when people for the longest time thought that oh, look at this knife. What's it called? Fatalities caused a harder resolve check. And the devs actually showed up on the forum, which proves they read them, and said it doesn't. But people were building their characters under that assumption and playing under that assumption for ages. And there's so much stuff that's just not explained. Like, you look at the perk, the trait Bloodthirsty. Kills are always fatalities if allowed by the weapon, or permitted by the weapon. That was bad. I don't know. Okay, so you think every kill, if I have a weapon that can do a fatality, which you have to find out yourself which ones are, will do a fatality with this. What it never explains, the same as it doesn't explain which weapons do fatalities, is that a fatality is exclusively happens on a head hit. If a guy dies to a body shot, no fatality. Which confused me for ages with that trait. And considering how much is at stake with decisions in that game, that stuff like that shouldn't be unclear. Like, you've seen people do builds, myself included, pick perks thinking that stuff works the way it says, and even when it's being vague, you try to assume the way it most likely works, and you pick something and then find out it doesn't work like that at all. Or worse, you never find out it doesn't work like that at all, but always work from the assumption that it does. Kind of like when we were fucking around with the three-headed flail. Where the tooltip says it does 3 attacks. Okay, cool. That means 3 overwhelms, right? Because overwhelm is on attack, hit or miss, as the thing says. Turns out, no. An attack in that specific tooltip refers to ability use. So every time you use an ability... Oh, this isn't our local fish market, is it? Fuck it, I sell it anyway. Refers to an ability, which means every time you click a button and it hits something, then you get a stack of overwhelm. Okay, but that's not always true either. But in the case of the three-headed flail, you only get overwhelm whenever you put 1 per click on a dude, even though the tooltip would suggest otherwise. However, if you do an AoE attack, fucking overwhelm goes on every person that the attack is aimed at, but not the three-headed flail. So you can pick a thing thinking that the tooltip is correct and it isn't, and you basically gimp the character. It's like, please. Anyway, I'm gonna take a very brief break and then we're gonna be back with Battle Brothers. So time for engaging me with the Fisk, and I'll be back in about half uno a hora, I believe the word is. Maybe. Let's see if we have a good man here. We can pass you on to for a little bit. Man's not up yet, is he? He ain't. Okay. Briefly enjoy German man. Then I return. Okay. Time for watching then? The end.